Dark fantasy RPGs are like a twisted amusement park, where the cotton candy is laced with color-coded pathogens, the roller coaster is a demonic contraption taking you through various levels of hell, and the clowns are malevolent entities plotting your demise. Although I'm pretty sure that last part is valid for the real world as well. Anyway, here's 10 dark fantasy RPGs that you simply must play. Dragon Age Origins is a modern classic that captures the essence of old-school computer RPGs while setting its narrative in a dark fantasy setting. It's not as dark as some of the upcoming entries, but it still delves into mature themes and acts as a grim exploration of faith, duty, and the horrors that await in the dark. The threat this world faces is only known as the Taint, a corrupting force that threatens to consume the world through creatures known as Darkspawn. Dragon Age Origins chronicles the fifth such incursion, known as a Blight. The game's unflinching portrayal of a world on the brink of collapse, coupled with the moral ambiguity of many choices, creates a truly immersive and thought-provoking experience. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines was a bold step into the dark and seductive world of fangs and ghouls. It offers a glimpse into a world of shadows where power came with a terrible price. The game's exploration of morality, the supernatural, and the human condition was ahead of its time. A game which, much like its subject matter, lived as an underground title, then became a cult favorite and has developed through the past 2 decades as a veritable classic of not only the genre, but gaming in general. Suffice to say, it's a title that still resonates with those who seek a darker, more mature gaming experience. Tyranny refreshingly flips the script on the classic trope of the plucky underdog resistance fighting the evil empire, by having you be the enforcer of said evil empire's laws, because the evil empire has already won, and any resistance over the 400 plus years of this process has been futile. In your role as the direct physical avatar of an all-powerful overlord named Kairos, you'll be confronted with the moral complexities of ruling a conquered land, as well as your own propensities and biases when it comes to interpreting Kairos' laws. The world is dark, however it is so only when viewed through an external lens. To the various characters you meet along your adventures and exploration, this is just how things have been for several generations at this point. The game is simply a tremendously immersive experience into the exploration of evil. Diablo was a revelation. It plunged players into a world thick with gothic horror, where devils, demons, and undead are sometimes part of life. The visceral and real-time combat, coupled with the relentless pursuit of loot, created an addictive loop that defined the action RPG genre. Diablo wasn't just about slaying monsters, it was about steeling yourself on your descent into hell, and despite being eventually victorious, losing your humanity in order to do so. Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones, is a Lovecraftian fever dream brought to life. It's a game that doesn't shy away from the cosmic horror, delving deep into the psyche of broken humans in a world on the brink of madness. The game's oppressive atmosphere and the creeping sense of dread are very particular, and it is one of those games where combat encounters are never joyous occasions for loot. Instead, combat should be avoided as much as possible because of the psychological effects it will have on your party. It's a title that offers a fresh take on cosmic horror and dark fantasy settings. If you're digging this video and want to dive deeper into the world of retro PC gaming, hit that subscribe button to get notified whenever I post a new video. Let's keep the flame of retro PC gaming alive together. Age of Decadence is an unforgiving RPG that revels in its grim and bleak challenge. It takes place in a world where survival is a constant struggle and morality is a luxury few, if any, can afford. The game focuses on character development and exploring a hyper-interesting science fantasy post-apocalyptic world. The harsh features of its setting create a truly immersive and relatively realistic experience. This means that, much like in real life, violent conflict resolution should be avoided, especially if your character isn't literally built for it. Even in that case, the combat system will prove to be super challenging. It's a heavily underrated title which should be seen as a testament to the enduring appeal of dark fantasy. The Shadowrun trilogy blends cyberpunk with fantasy, creating a gritty and dystopian world filled with magic and technology. Dragonfall and Hong Kong are the standouts in the series, though that doesn't mean you should ignore the first entry. That said, Shadowrun Returns doesn't offer the same depth of narrative that Shadowrun Hong Kong does, nor does it feature the complex characters that Shadowrun Dragonfall does. When you add to this a continuous stream of morally ambiguous choices, intense turn-based combat, and a deeply relatable setting, despite its science fantasy underpinnings, you get a great series of RPGs that any genre fan should experience. Planescape Torment is an RPG that explores the nature of existence and the meaning of life, but in a very dark and roundabout sort of way. Set in a surreal world, in the meeting place of many planes of existence from within the D&D universe, the game offers a unique and thought-provoking experience by having you play a character that has lived many and very different lives. Because whenever the character dies, they get resurrected and the memories of their past lives disappear. Throughout your quest to find out why you are immortal and who you initially were, you'll encounter a lot of other characters whom your past selves have had an impact on. And not necessarily in a positive manner.
Hey, Chief, you okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure.
Ludus Mortis is a horror-themed first-person dungeon crawler released in 2024. The game is set in an alternate dark fantasy version of the Roman Empire, where the Senate, dissatisfied with its diminished role in favor of the Emperor, dabbled into some necromancy shenanigans and created an army of undead and demons to fight the actual Imperial army. Shockingly, this did not go as planned, and the evil forces turned against their summoners and took over Rome. Not only this, but the corrupting nature of these powers has spread in the world and has led to the mutation of former humans into various types of beastmen. You are in charge of a Ludus, a gladiator school, but you're not training them to fight in the games anymore, you train your gladiators to fight the undead hordes. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon presents us with a much darker take on the Arthurian legend. This is a realm of constant autumn, a dying, sinking island that is being taken over by a magical sort of mist called weirdness, which affects one's mind and body. The twist being that the island was invaded and colonized by Arthur and his people many hundreds of years ago while they were escaping the ravages of a plague in their lands. The local inhabitants, called the Foredwellers, were destroyed and the weirdness was driven away by Merlin's great menhir obelisks. Or at least that's how the official story goes. Avalon is a full-on mid-apocalyptic fantasy setting, but things are progressing very slowly. So animals still breed, fruit and vegetables still grow, and people are still dicks.
So that's why I keep punching you, yet you look suspiciously healthy. We'll make more of a challenge for you soon enough. Okay, that was easier than...
If you enjoyed this, you may want to check out the video on screen right now. I've been Stephen Ansons, thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day.